There, got goal line in. That was a spirited period. Went both ways in the period, which I think is probably good for our team. It was good to have B.J. James and Tyler Croft out here running around a little bit for the first time this spring. I think both guys look pretty good. Questions?
Kyle, what kind of opportunity has it been for the other tight ends with Tyler limited so much this spring? What have you seen from Arch and Flanagan and Marini?
I think Marini's been down now for a couple days, but before that, I thought he was making some progress. I think all three of those guys have really made progress. There's no substitute for reps, and to get reps against some talented defensive players, I think it's been really good for all three of those guys. They're certainly much further along now than they were at the end of last season.
With the guys that have gotten dinged and stuff in the spring, is there any concern about them during the season? Are they ready in the summer, you feel like?
No, nothing that we've had to deal with to this point. Do we feel like we'll even go past the midway point in the summer? We think by the midway point in the summer, we should be in pretty good shape, I think.
It's good to see some of the young corners get in there and make some plays and mix it up today.
Yeah, and again, it's the same situation for those guys. They're similar to the tight ends. They're young guys. Some have played, some haven't played much, but they're getting a lot of reps, a lot of live fire reps, and I'm pleased with the progress they're making. At times today, I thought they looked pretty good. I thought we gave up one in the 2-minute drill. We got to look and see if it was a sack or not. It was close. I let the play go, but I think they're making progress as a group.
Any further evaluation of the quarterback after film from Saturday?
No, I think Gary still continues to perform like a guy who has a lot of experience, and I think Mike Bamonte continues to make plays. He made some today in those 2-minute drills, so it's been a fun competition to watch so far.
How are J.J. Denman and Leone taking advantage of first team groups?
I think both have become more consistent players. I think that's the advantage. It's hard to get as good as you need to get just by watching other people do it. You have to do it yourself, and I think as you do it, you find out how tough it really is. But I think both guys have done a good job becoming more consistent.
Leone is obviously a fifth-year guy. How far has he come during his time here? Obviously, it looks like he's maybe your sixth offensive lineman this year.
Yeah, he's pushing right now to be a starter, and I think he'll certainly be in the top 8 and be a guy that we're going to have to rely on next year to help us win some games. He's as dedicated and disciplined a person as we have in our program. The way he has changed his body over the last 5.5 years of his life is just remarkable. And now, I think as he goes into his 5th year, he's finally got his strength levels up to a point where he can compete against the best players, because that's ultimately what you need to do.
Kyle, is there a different feeling for your comfort level for you depth-wise on the offensive line now that you've seen spring practice develop?
I wouldn't say I'm comfortable just yet. I don't think so. I think
because your outlook on it changed, though.
It's changed. The needle moved in the right direction for sure, but I'm not. I feel comfortable. We've got probably 8 defensive linemen we can go in and play winning football with. I don't know that we've got 10 offensive linemen yet, which is what you'd like to have in a perfect world. So we're working our way towards it. We've got some guys that are in there, and even a guy like Marcus Applefield who just got here. I've seen a lot of improvement. He's not ready yet, but I've seen a lot of improvement from practice 1 to practice 10.
The D-line has always been a rotation position for you guys, but is that your preference at receiver? Because I know you have different packages and things that people play in, but what's your preference?
I think with all the personnel groups we play in, I think it'll work like that. But I think we've had guys like Kenny Britt and Taekwon Underwood and Mohamed Sanu, who you had to find ways to get the ball and get them the ball a lot just because of what they can do after they have the ball in their hands. And if someone emerges to that point, then certainly they'll play a little bit more than the others. But I don't know that position that anybody ever plays the whole game.
How much as a coaching staff are you looking forward to the spring evaluation period?
We're really looking forward to it. A chance to go off campus. I wish the head coaches could still go off, and we're not allowed to. But I know the coaches will be out today, this afternoon, in a lot of the schools locally here to see the top guys in the area for us. And I think it's one more opportunity for us right now to build our relationships with the coaches and the guidance counselors and the teachers and the people that know these players in the schools, to make sure that you get all the best information you can, because the more information you have, the more good decisions you make.
Talk about the opportunity Miles Nash had. What do you want to see out of him in the next 2 weeks?
I think for any of these young guys, it really boils down to consistency, because when a player flashes, that shows you he can do it. But if he's inconsistent, it ultimately is going to cost you in a game. So for any of these young players, the more consistent they can be, the more we'll feel comfortable putting them.
Kyle,
you talked about the eval period. Does your planning of where spring practice ever impact that? Because some schools are done, some schools continue on.
It hasn't. We've really done ours based more for when spring break is, because we start late after Martin Luther King Day. spring break's a little later, and I've never liked the idea of breaking it up. Not that we wouldn't try it in the future, but right now we haven't. So we start right after spring break, and we get right at it, and it generally pushes us right up to about the limit, to when spring evaluations start.
Kyle, with Dion playing so much corner, how do you feel about the free safety battle right now? I guess it's Jacobs and Aiken mostly, and two guys who played a lot of strong safety. How different are strong safety from free safety?
They definitely have some differences within the defense, but there are certain things about it that you need to have a similar skill set to do. I wouldn't discount DeLon from that competition just yet, because I think he's a guy we're still going to look at that position to make sure we got the best 11 on the field. Thanks, guys.